If you ever wanted to know what White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki's boots tasted like, just talk to Brian Stelter, because he licked them good, man. He licked them high and he licked them low. And he got, I mean, I'll be honest, luckily I wasn't the only one that felt this way when I watched this drivel, but he basically asked White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, how can the media be better for you?
Busy summer ahead, infrastructure, election reform. What does the press get wrong when covering Biden's agenda? When you watch the news, when you read the news, what do you think we get wrong?
All right, so let me break this down for you. What he's saying is, Jen Psaki, please tell me how I could better report on your agenda. Am I doing everything I can for you and Joe Biden? I know he needs all the help he can get. What more can I do for you? Do you need any help? Do you need a back rub? Do you need me to print more? I mean, what is, just send me the information verbatim and I'll just have them put it into the teleprompter. Why don't you write my reports? Anything you want me to say, I'll say. What am I getting wrong? What is the media getting wrong? You're asking that of the press secretary? Why don't you tell the press secretary what she's getting wrong? Why don't you ask her what you're getting right? Because that would take a lot less time for her to tell. Here's how she answered.
Well, look, I think some of our muscles have atrophied a little bit over the last few years.
I think all of Brian Stelter's muscles have atrophied over his entire life. Well, except maybe his stomach muscle. But she goes back and she says, look, we haven't done this for a while.
And there isn't a lot of memory, or recent memory, or longer memory.
I thought for a minute there she was talking about Joe Biden. I was like, oh, she's talking about Joe Biden. No memory? No recent memory? Yeah, that's Joe Biden.
All men and women created by you know the thing.
Yeah, but she was talking about the media. She was talking about the press. And she was talking about how they've forgotten basically how to do their jobs. And when you go into a legislative session like the one they're going into now, it's really tricky.
How long it takes to get legislation forward, or how messy the process of negotiating and the process of getting legislation across the finish line can be.
All right, so she's saying now that the process of legislating is messy. Getting it across the finish line is difficult. This is probably why they have no intention of doing that, and why they're trying to use reconciliation for any budgetary measure that they want to push through, like the COVID relief bill, or like the bill that they have now that they're trying to push into law and get on the president's desk regarding the infrastructure. They're just going to break down the talks, and they're going to say, well, this is a budget issue, so we're just going to use reconciliation. They already know they can't get anything else passed, and they have no intention of doing so. They don't like bipartisan politics. They don't like to have to negotiate with Republicans.
I think sometimes we forget how strange the last 4 years were, and when we return to a place where democracy is working, where we're talking with Democrats and Republicans, where we're trying to get bills and legislation passed, it feels foreign, but this is actually how it's supposed to work.
All right, it feels foreign, but this is how it's supposed to work. She's talking about the Donald Trump administration. She's saying the last 4 years have been so weird. And it's so foreign, and you're not, you guys, we understand. You had 8 years of Obama. You weren't used to a candidate or a president or a party who saw through your lies. You guys weren't used to somebody who called you out on your misreporting. You guys weren't used to not being able to say and do whatever you wanted to do and having the access and just, licking the boots of Barack Obama. Well, now we're back to that, and we're all a little out of sorts. So just remember, the hard questions that you gave to Donald Trump, you don't need to do that anymore. That's not how it works. Investigating our background like you did Donald Trump, making stuff up about our backgrounds, having a target on the president's back like you did when Donald Trump was president, having a news director, a news boss tell you, all you do when you come into work today is try to figure out ways to make Donald Trump look bad and make Joe Biden look better. I mean, that was Jeff Zucker. That's what he told his folks at CNN, and that's what they did for 4 years. And now we don't do that anymore. It feels foreign. It feels weird. But you can go right back to sucking up to us, to licking our boots, and to burying any stories that make us look bad, and continuing just reporting on the good stuff we tell you to report on, okay? That's all we need. It's going to take some time. Donald Trump messed with your head. You think you need to be combative. You think you need to do actual journalism. You don't.